everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Laura. Today's recipe is going to be a chicken tamale pie casserole. I did make the beef version of this a while back and it got real good response from everybody. They really liked it. So I'm going to link that one up here for you so you can go and take a look up here in the cards. Very simple recipe, guys. This is great for make ahead, for meal prepping. You can make a double version and have one for dinner, freeze the next one for another time. And so let's get started, guys. We're just got to do a little bit of chopping and that's about it. I'm going to start with the chicken. Now the chicken, you use whatever parts you like. I personally like the thighs. I feel like it just gives it more flavor. Of course, we will clean up some of this fat on here. And we're just going to cube this up. Just make it into small pieces, bite-sized pieces. You don't want it too small or too big. I'll show you here the size that we want it. You kind of want it about this size. It's about an inch cube. So I'm just going to continue to cut this and we'll move on. Okay, let me clean this up and I will be right back. Okay, the next thing that we are going to chop up is some onion. Now I'm going to use purple onion just for the color. You can use white onion, yellow onion, whatever your family prefers. If you don't like it, don't put it in. Okay, and also we're going to use some red bell pepper. You can use green bell pepper, yellow, whatever colors you like. Or whatever flavor bell pepper you like. I just love the red one. And I'm going to cube it into real small cubes. And I'm only going to use half of it. Okay, and then I'm going to use some cilantro. Now, I know cilantro is a big controversy. Some people like it, some people don't. If you don't like it, don't put it in. Use some parsley or just leave it out. Okay, and the last thing that we're going to do for this recipe is we're going to get some garlic, 2 cloves of garlic. And we're going to mince this up. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to pop you over to the stove and we'll get started. Alright, next step, I have a skillet. We're going to add a little bit of oil to it. This is already hot. Okay, we're going to add our chicken. We're going to add just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And we're going to cook this down until thoroughly cooked. Okay, now that this is cooked down some, you don't need it thoroughly fried up because it's going to continue to cook in the oven and with the rest of these vegetables. So we're going to add in our garlic and our onion and cook this down until the onion is translucent. And the fire, I have it medium to high. Alright, the onions are translucent now, so we are going to add our bell pepper. And like I said, this is going to continue to cook in the oven a little bit, so you don't really want to overcook your vegetables. Okay, and this is what I use for seasoning, guys. I use the McCormick chicken taco seasoning. Just be careful with this as far as seasoning because that's got a lot of sodium, so you really don't want to over season your chicken at the beginning. Okay, now we are going to add our corn. Look at those colors. Okay, now we are going to add our tomato. I use Rotel tomato. And this will deglaze the bottom of the pan. Okay, turn off the heat. And the last thing we add is the cilantro. If you don't want to use all of it, don't use all of it. I leave some out to sprinkle on top at the very end. And we're going to let this sit here and cool for a little bit before I add in our cheese. We will add some cheddar cheese to this. You can add some Monterey Jack, some queso fresco, whatever cheese you prefer. Okay, so I'm gonna let this sit here and cool. In the meantime, we're gonna transfer you back over to the counter for the cornbread part of this. Okay guys, for the next step in this bowl, I'm gonna use the Mexican style cornbread mix. You can use whatever cornbread mix you want. I just like the flavor that this gives it. Now, but to this, I'm gonna add some of that chicken taco seasoning that we use for our chicken. I'm just gonna follow the package directions, which is an egg and some milk. And we are also gonna add, that doesn't say in the instructions, is some cheese. So we're just gonna mix this up. And this is what our topping is gonna be for the casserole dish. Okay, now I'm gonna give you some options for this casserole dish. Normally I make it in this pie plate. That's why I call it a chicken tamale pie. You can also make it in a cast iron skillet. This comes out wonderful. I love the crust that it gives it. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it up a little bit, and I'm gonna make it in my casserole, in my cast iron pan. And also, if you want presentation to have everybody's individual pan, you can use these little mini ones. They're great. They're 6.5 inches and just enough for an individual serving. And you can have a side salad. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do with the cast iron skillet is I'm going to give it a light spray just so that nothing sticks. Here is the chicken that we prepared. It's been cooling off just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the cheese. You don't have to add it. This is optional. And you can add any kind of cheese you want. If you want to put Monterey Jack, mozzarella, whatever cheese, queso fresco, that is up to you. You put what your family likes. Okay, now we're going to pour this into our cast iron skillet. Okay, then we're just going to press it out. And then we're going to pour our cornbread mix right on top. I do have the oven preheating at 375. And then just spread it out. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to pop this into the oven, and I will be back to show you when this is ready. Okay guys, I just popped this out of the oven, and as you can see, it gets a little crusty. It's very bubbly, very, very hot. So I'm going to leave this here for it to cool with the towel here on the handle so that nobody, if they touch it, they won't burn their hands. Okay, I'll be back to cut into it after it's cooled off. Alright guys, this is ready. I sprinkled some cilantro up on top. I'm going to show you, see if you can see that. Look at that. Delicious. Smells so yummy. Okay, I always keep the towel here, and you can just serve this on the plate, serve it family style, however you like. Look at that. Yummy. Now this is something the family is gonna love. Now with the cold weather. Delicious. Nice and crunchy on top, but still soft, and it has a lot of flavor, guys. I hope you really give this recipe a try. That's gonna conclude the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and go visit us on Facebook at Virtual Kitchen with Laura. Again, the recipe and everything I use will be linked in the description box below, so go take a look there for information. Okay guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.